Peace, shalom, giving honor and praise to the Creator and the Maker of heaven and earth. Want to go over a particular portion, and I entitled it Language and Tongue. Now, we're going to start, brothers and sisters, in the book of Isaiah. All right, the book of Isaiah, chapter 28. We're going to go in verse 9. Whom shall he teach knowledge? And whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. For a precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little. For with stammering lips and another tongue will he speak to this people, to whom he said, This is the rest wherein thou may cause the weary to rest, and this is the refreshing. Yet they would not hear. But the word of the Most High was upon them, precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little, that they may go and fall backward and be broken and snared and taken. Now, there are many brothers and sisters who will go to Isaiah 28th chapter and focus on, let's say, the part in verse 11, which says, For with stammering lips and another tongue will he speak to this people, and not realize the context of what this is talking about. This is talking about the children of Israel that was transgression against the laws of the Most High. So now when it says this in verse 9, whom shall he teach knowledge, and whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. That is talking about children being able to be made to be taught. For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little, there a little. What that is saying is that the prophecies are going to be coming into pass, for line upon line, precept upon precept. For with stammering lips and another tongue will he speak to this people, to whom he said, This is the rest wherein ye may cause the weary to rest. And this is the refreshing, yet they will not hear. So what's that saying in verse 12 is that the rest, the place of refreshing, is being under the shadow of the Most High. As we read similar in the book of Psalms chapter 1 and the book of Psalms chapter 91. You understand? What this is saying is that the people rejected that. Therefore, now let's see what's going to happen in verse 13. But the word of the Most High was upon them, precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little, that they may go, they, Israel, the rebellious ones, that is, that they may go and fall backward and be broken and snared and taken. So what this is saying in verse 13 is that those prophecies that are bad in reference with the children of Israel, such as we might see in Deuteronomy 28, like in Leviticus 26, like in the other prophecies, like in Jeremiah 16, verse 10 to 13, this kind of situation, it says what? But the word of the Most High was upon them, meaning the wicked ones of Israel. It was upon them, precept upon precept, all of those curses, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little, that they, the rebellious ones, may go and fall backward and be snared and be broken and snared and taken. So to go into verse 11, as many do, and say basically we don't need to learn the Hebrew, or well, it says with another tongue and so forth and so on, and not have any understanding of what's going on. We see all kinds of irresponsible doctrines that's being pushed, basically saying that we don't need to sit there and return back to the language of our ancestors. Now in verse 11, we read, For with stammering lips and another tongue will he speak to this people. Do you realize that that is a problem, that that is part of the curses for us to have lost our language? For instance, in Isaiah chapter 28, verse 11, in the Hebrew we read, Ki, bala'age safa, lashon akeret, yedaber el ha'am hazeh. Now, one of the key words is the Hebrew word bala'age. The Hebrew word bala'age, ba means in or with. La'ag in Hebrew means stammering, mockery, gesture, and so forth and so on. That is not a good thing. So when you find Israelites basically saying, yeah, we shouldn't have to sit there and study the Hebrew based upon this portion right here, what they're saying is we should keep on speaking a stammering language. We should keep on speaking a mockery language. We have to step it up, brothers and sisters. This prophecy right here is not enforcing us to not learn what is ours. This is basically describing our downfall because we refuse, as verse 12 says, the resting place in the place of refreshing. Shalom.